Episode 23, Blast It or Stash It. Welcome, guys. Thanks, everybody already in the chat. We got Funk Off and British Geeky guys in here, Captain Dadpool, just waiting for us to get rolling. So we will do that. We'll jump right into our movie quotes. We'll start with you, Paul.
My quote is, "He was already dead. He died a year ago the moment he touched her. They're all dead. They just don't know it yet."
The Crow.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just watched that on Halloween night, as a matter of fact, I think.
I love that movie.
Yeah, man, that's one of the greats right there. Love it.
We'll go on to you, Mike.
Very short and simple one. Don't call me babe.
That's got to be a female character that's saying that. Captain America, is it?
Nope.
I mean, not going to be Captain America saying that, but anybody else got any clue?
Don't call me babe.
British Geeky guy says barbed wire.
Yes, British Geeky guy is correct. The classic 1996 barbed wire with Pamela Anderson.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw it when it came out, but it's been years.
Move on to you, Trinity.
All right, my quote is, "I knew you, but you ain't you. You can't be you. We put you through a window. There ain't no coming back. This is the really world where there ain't no coming back. We killed you dead."
That's a Crow too, isn't it?
That's the Crow.
Paul stole your thunder on that one.
He did. I forgive you.
And my quote is, "I guess there's a plan for all of us. I had to die twice just to figure that out. Just like the book says, he works his works in mysterious ways. Some people like it, some people don't."
The Crow.
Nope. 2005. Nope. DC book. And I'll give another hint to the lead character, Wild Stallions.
Oh, John Constantine.
And yep, John Constantine. AMI Comics got it in there too. Okay, so now we'll jump right into our books. Well, Paul, why don't you go ahead and give us our first book we're working on?
All right, let's start with Avengers #1. I personally hated this book. I just couldn't finish it. Like, the storyline was okay, and I was following the storyline. The art was just awful. And I got to this one panel that I'm sure Mike will hold up at some point. And I was like,
let me get that ready.
I was like, $5 for this. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I know normally the storyline is king for me, but if the art is so bad that it distracts me, I just can't do it anymore.
Let's see here. Do you have it up there, Mike?
Yep.
I mean, just that female Thor there, I was like, this is not worth $5.
And that's not the only spot that the characters are so distorted like that.
Oh, Peter Parker looks like a child molester most of the time.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
So I'm assuming that's a blast then for you.
Yeah, that's going to be a blast. I mean, if it had different art, it may be a completely different story, but it was just too distracting to me.
Yeah, Aim High said they tricked people with the Alex Ross cover.
Yep.
I agree, a gorgeous cover, but inside is just...
So what's your take on that book, Mike?
It is a halfway decent story, but like Midwest said, the art is just so bad you don't even want to look at it no more once you get about halfway through it. So this is also a blast for me. One highlight of the book for me was I do like the new Wasp and her attitude. I like her. So, but this book was a blast for me.
I picked this one up too. The art was atrocious. I thought the story was okay. I don't like this Peter Parker with the Parker Industries. You know, this kind of cocky Peter Parker. I like my Peter Parker a little timid. You know how Spider-Man and Peter Parker used to be, but the story was good. I'd actually, oh my god, I would ask stash the storyline, but if they're charging $4.99 for that art, that's absolutely ridiculous. And I think that they need to readjust their prices on that. So it's a stash, but a very soft stash for me. So Trinity, why don't you give us our next book, what we're doing?
Our next book is Batman #10, the second part to the I Am Suicide with Bane and Psycho Pirate. And this is my pick of the week. It's a freaking phenomenal book. If you haven't read this, you need to go to your LCS and get 9 and 10 right now, because these 2 issues are better than anything that came before it in the Batman Rebirth. This is phenomenal. The art on it is pretty cool. It kind of confused me because Batman, like, he would say a certain thing over and over and over, but by the end of the book, you understand why he's saying that. And he has a plan, but you don't see it coming together to the very end of it. But it's this huge, big fight with him and Bane in there. It's awesome.
I picked it up too. I'll give a little bit of weight to the story because I have some questions about it too. Because is this actually part of the original Batman continuity where Bane does break his back and he's attempting to do it again? That's my question to everybody who's read it. And I was kind of confused too throughout the book, and I thought that, you know, the not necessarily the letter that was being written. At first, I thought that was from Bane, and then to come find out it's from somebody else, and it's like, oh, what the heck, you know? So
Yeah.
it definitely is a stash for me. I do kind of like how they're going, how he is kind of taking his own version of Suicide Squad, because he knows, like Bane said, Justice League's not going to save you because, you know, you've already broken the rules and they're not coming for you. And so now Batman did get somebody who actually is going to come for him. So
yeah, that's what I like. Batman went in there knowing that he knew they weren't going to come for him, so he had to have backup.
Yep. How about you, Paul? Did you get Batman?
I just picked it up today. I haven't had a chance to read it yet.
Okay. And Mike, you haven't had a chance to read it yet either, right?
No, that's correct.
Okay. So why don't we go ahead and jump? Mike, you give us our third book.
Let's do, we'll do Occupy Avengers. Occupy Avengers. When I first picked this up, I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know it was just going to be about Hawkeye. So basically, it's Hawkeye's story after he was acquitted of the Hulk's murder. He's investigating contaminated water now. So he's like just helping the common folk. Like this book takes place on an Indian reservation. He's checking into some bad water, runs into some bad guys who are backed up by a supervillain. I ain't gonna reveal the supervillain. It's kind of a C-lister. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. I like the Red Wolf. If you're familiar with the Red Wolf character, he's in this book. I'm gonna stash this one. So.
Okay, I know, Paul, you said you picked that up as well.
Yes, I did. Art was good, but I mean, there's already been way too many comparisons between Green Arrow and Hawkeye, and now they're getting him into the social helping the little guy thing, and I think it's just they're making him exactly like Green Arrow, and I'm like, what's the point? I mean, I did seeing Red Wolf in there, but I don't know that I like the storyline, so I think it's going to be a blast for me.
Okay. I'll jump into our fourth book, and that would be, I'll do Fool Killer #1. And the artist and the writer, I'm not even going to try to pronounce their names. This was okay. I thought it was kind of like more of a sophisticated man's Deadpool in a way. Because the main character. Now, I know nothing of Fool Killer from before. Has he been in other storylines?
Yeah, he was. He just most recently he was with the Deadpool's Mercs for Money.
Okay, that kind of makes a little bit of sense. I thought the art was okay. I don't think it was super great. It seemed like more of like a smarter Deadpool. He's a psychiatrist, but a mercenary behind the scenes. I don't think it's enough really for me to pick up issue 2. 1 was enough, and beyond that, I'd blast it. So it's not for me. So how about you, Paul?
I think I'm going to give it one more issue to see where it goes. I mean, the storyline was pretty good. Fool Killer's been around since I remember seeing him show up in the 80s, and
yeah,
it's good enough that I'm going to give it one more shot. And all I got to say is it's about time that we had some sex role play with characters in their costumes, because we know they all do it, and they finally brought it out to the front.
Do I need to show the picture?
I got no problem with that.
So you're saying he's been around since the 80s? Do you know what his first appearance was at all?
I remember seeing him back in issues of Captain America in the 80s, so I'm going to lean towards Cap, but I'm not 100% sure.
And did he kind of start out as a villain, kind of like Deadpool did?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if anybody in the chat knows, definitely pop that in there and say if you know what Fool Killer's first appearance was. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Then he comes in his costume.
That's not his official costume, though, is it? Unless that's his original costume, I don't know.
His original costume, he had like this huge hat, and it was just crazy.
Oh,
there's a cover.
He looked like a pimp.
The cover of one of the Fool Killers right there.
There he is.
Let's see here. Oh, that's right. I remember seeing that. Now I got to look that up.
I just looked up his first appearance, and there's like 4.
There's 4 first appearances?
The first appearance. Yeah, man. What's his name? Shit. The young Red Skull's in this book.
I don't know. The guy, one of his patients.
See, there's 4 different guys.
Go ahead, Paul, what were you saying?
There's 4 different guys who have had the name Fool Killer. The first appearance of the first one was in Man-Thing number 3. And then there was Omega the Unknown, and then there was a Fool Killer limited series in the 90s.
Okay, that's what I'm looking at here. Okay. But he's always been like a C-lister, not even quite even a B-lister then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so Bruce Geek Guy and Airborne Sapper are chiming in. Yeah, and Man-Thing number 3. See what else we got in the chat. Doom 143 is here. I keep grabbing the wrong thing to adjust. Where's my little slider? What else we got? Funkoff's in here again. He's been in here quite a bit lately. It's cool. Thank you for coming in. And we all know that civic duty, helping people vote. So, okay, jumping into our next book. Why don't you give it to us? Give it to us, Trinity. That sounded so bad on so many levels. Let's just move on.
My next book is Green Lanterns number 10. This was an awesome book. I really like this one too. This is the stash. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this series is where they had just announced or debuted a new character, his first appearance, the Phantom Lantern. So,
Actually, wouldn't his first appearance be last issue?
Yeah, well,
As a Phantom Lantern.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, you're right.
That would be the cameo, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I'll show you if I can show it here. Apparently, it kind of took me a second to realize what was happening here, because the way they did it was kind of you see that? Apparently, he has a ring that holds the powers of all the lantern rings. So he can harness, and like anybody can harness, anybody can wear it. So he has a ring that he can be a yellow lantern, white lantern, blue lantern, green lantern, whatever he wants to be at any point in time. Like he can just swap on the fly. And anybody can wield it. So, and when I first started catching on what was going on, like a few issues back, I reached out to the Great Legend. I asked him. I said, have you ever heard of a Phantom Lantern? He was like, no, that's got to be a completely new character. So I was like, that's actually pretty cool. And then I didn't know what to expect, but it's a really good. This whole issue, like last issue, like where Mike was talking about, where it showed him, it was giving you the backstory of the guy that it was, and then this issue he gets the ring and becomes the Phantom Lantern, and it's all to do with that.
So then I wonder what. No, go. Sorry, Trinity.
I was just going to say there's a lot of story I'm leaving out, but yeah, it's not.
Then if that one before has his backstory, I wonder what CGC would be considered his first appearance then.
Well, I mean, to me, last issue would be first cameo, because he's not the Phantom Lantern until issue 10. He doesn't get the ring, and he doesn't become. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at some of the Batman titles, they say this is the first Tim Drake, but this is the first Tim Drake in costume. In the Robin costume. So that's why I kind of wonder what they would do there.
I don't know. That's actually a pretty good question.
I know, Mike, so it's a stash for you then, right, Trinity?
Oh, yes, it's a stash. The storyline's still going on. There's more to come. So I'm actually anxious to see what comes with it, because I was actually going to cancel it. But I think after reading this issue, it's kept me on at least for the next little while anyway. Just because I need to cut down on my list some of the books I'm getting, I was just trying to knock off some of that, because I'm reading Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps a lot more. And I'm reading them both the same, but I like it a lot more. I was actually starting to wane off on that one, because it just seemed like it took too long. Jessica never could, create a construct, but then you'd see her in Justice League, she's making constructs. So, or maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's the way it seemed to me. Like she could never use her ring when it was just in the Green Lantern's book. She could never get it to do anything. Then that next week or whatever, a Justice League book would come out, and she'd be using her ring. So I'm like, how can't you do that?
I know, Mike, you were showing that. What do you think of Green Lantern?
Awesome stuff. Something that Trinity didn't touch on, this White Lantern or Phantom Lantern is also being manipulated by a gentleman called Volflume, and he's supposedly the first Lantern. Let me click on the picture here. So I don't know if him being the Phantom Lantern is going to take a turn for the worse or what, but like Trinity said, this was an awesome issue. Green Lanterns continues to impress me each issue, and this, of course, was a stash for me.
How about you, Paul? Did you read that book?
I haven't read that one yet. That's one I pre-ordered, so I don't have it yet. But, I mean, I've been following the series, and I'm sure it's going to be a stash because it's been a really good series.
Yeah, I haven't picked up anything beyond the Halloween issue with the pumpkin or the trick-or-treaters. I've been keep meaning to get that on my pull list or keep picking them up, but I just haven't done it yet. So I enjoyed it up to the point that I stopped, but I definitely have to start looking at those again. Next book, Paul, why don't you give us your next book?
Let's do Mayday #1.
Mike's.
Yes. I still not quite sure what I read. I mean, let's just say in the book, a bunch of characters take an acid trip, and it felt like I was taking an acid trip too. But I'm sure Mike is definitely going to pick this book up as it features full frontal female nudity. Sure he'll be all over that. But I do want to see how this plays out. I mean, it's like got acid trips and spies, and it's set in the 70s, and it's really weird. And so I want to see what happens. So I'm like, this is crazy.
I picked this book up too. Can you tell us in the 70s because of the hairstyles there, Paul?
I think at one point they said they had the date.
I'm just talking about the full frontal part. I mean,
yes,
you can tell.
Yes, that was also a giveaway too.
So,
full merkin was in effect.
Yeah. This I don't know what the hell to think of this. It's I blasted it just to say from the beginning it wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't really follow it very well. The whole acid trip thing. I don't know. This wasn't for me. I won't be picking up issue 2 on that, even though it did show full frontal. Maybe they might give us a little more next issue.
Well, much like your Avengers #1, it is a soft one.
Frontal. It is. It's a soft stash.
Yeah.
For Mike, it'd probably be a pretty hard stash, but
Mike's gonna be in his bunk.
Yeah.
Hey-oh.
Moving on. And Mike, you haven't got that, and Jeremy, you haven't picked that up yet either?
Nah, I didn't get it.
Jeremy, why don't you give us our next book?
All right, next book, Superman #10. I loved this book because I know when I was first getting into it, a lot of people were talking about Damian Wayne, like they didn't like him. But I've been reading him like in here and in that Batman animated movie, and I love him. I think he's awesome because it's kind of like a little contrast to actually how Batman is. He's got that little smart alecky, you know, and that's what I like about him. Like he's arrogant, he's confident because he's Batman's son and the grandson of Ra's al Ghul. I mean, come on now, you know. But I actually really liked it. There was some a lot of good action in here. I'm trying to find this one page. I can't really find it. Let's see. Like this is a cool, like a little kind of a splash. Can you see that? I can't.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Like, see, it starts off like it shows John like he's like the big guy in school and he's going down through there. And he's coming home, and let's see, something happens. He's like, he gets in trouble. He's like falling or something, and like that big bat thing of he's falling out of a tree. He sets the woods on fire, and all of a sudden, Damian's big bat thing comes down and like swoops him up. He's got this other chick with him. The bat thing does. I can't think of her name, but she's got like 6 eyes. And like she can go invisible, and like she's been spying on John this whole time for Damian. Like Damian sent her to spy on John because he's been so inconsistent with his powers. He don't know how to use them yet. John's hurt, so they take him back to the Batcave to get him checked on or whatever. Batman comes in while they're checking on him, and Batman's like, "You got to get him out of here." All of a sudden, you hear "floom" and the door comes flying off. Superman's standing there with his eyes glowing red. It's like, where is he? It's like I just thought it was awesome. It was a really good book.
Maya was that the girl's name was riding Goliath.
Yeah. I think this is they were setting up. They're coming up with that Super Sons book. That's John and Damien. And it's just a book with just those two in it, like it's their own book. And I think this is setting that up, like kind of like the first meeting of them, and then I think they're going to become. Maybe John's going to join the Teen Titans or something.
Mike, how about you? Did you pick up that book?
I picked it up, but I haven't read it yet.
Okay. How about you, Paul?
Same with me.
I read it.
This one, so.
I read it today. I actually liked it. I enjoyed it. I did like kind of the dynamics. You don't think about that being a superhero and trying to be a parent as well. And think of all the stuff that gets left out of. What was that? The Teen Titans book last time was talking about Damien spending his 13th birthday by himself with Alfred. It's like his dad's never there. And I thought that was kind of a cool dynamic where Batman and Superman both realized, hey, we haven't done all we can do to be a better parent. And I like that dynamic. Damien is an asshat. I mean, he's a total asshat, which I guess that's part of his character too, arrogant. I did enjoy it. I picked a regular cover. This is a regular cover, I think it is. Yes, this is a regular cover. I like this cover far better than the alternate cover.
Me too. That alternate cover seemed like they were playing off the Batman versus Superman. I like that well enough, the variant cover, but this one to me was far better just because it's telling the story right there. Here is Batman and Superman and then Damien and John. Yeah.
So I think this was a far cooler cover for me personally. That's definitely a stash. I've been picking up Superman since this new rebirth, and I've been enjoying it pretty well. And I like this new story arc where it's coming from, and hopefully see where it's going too. So, Mike, why don't you give us your next book?
All right, I'm going to do a book you guys probably didn't get, and that's Evil Dead 2: Revenge of Dracula.
I did not get that. Nope.
Real quick review. Everybody knows the story of Ash. He hooks up with a girl. He sleeps with her, and in the morning she steals the Book of the Dead. She goes and resurrects Dracula. They're in a bar. A demon shows up. A fight happens, and Ash kills Dracula. It was a really short issue. This is part of that one and done series that this company's doing. They actually have a lot of these Ash versus books. Here's some of them right here. Ash versus Hitler, Ash versus Krampus. And the other two. Yep. This was a blast for me. It was not worth the $3.90 to $4 I paid for it. So that was a blast.
Real quick here, jumping into the chat again. Don Comic Book Junkies in here. Thanks, Don, for showing up. Cool Nerd RMG Geeked is in here as well. Checking out, like Don's missing some bids on I don't know the name of that book.
Hansi, the girl who loved the swastika.
Oh, okay. I never even heard of it.
Here's your one chance, Hansi. Don't let me down.
Now he's going into Dolly, Reba McEntire or Dolly Parton. Which one is that?
That's Reba, man. Reba.
Sorry. Wonky Ninja's back in here. She's happy to see the first lantern back. Jessica Cruz is going to have trouble, maybe. Thanks, guys, for jumping in here. Let's see, Mike. Paul. How about you? Do you have another book?
Yeah, and it's actually my pick of the week, and that's going to be Unworthy Thor, #1. I've always been a big Thor fan, and seeing the original back and being a complete badass, I was digging it a lot. And it's got Beta Ray Bill in it. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Mike, how about you?
I absolutely hate Thor. Not this book, though. I love this book. It's a fallen. I don't know how he lost the hammer or what. It was before my time, but he's hanging out on the moon with his goat smiting trolls. He meets an alien called the Unseen, and he learns of another hammer. And that hammer's in Old Asgard. He goes to Old Asgard and finds it's destroyed. He meets up with Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill offers for his hammer. And this book was awesome. Art is great. Toys, like Midwest said, Toys is badass. It's actually a little darker than I remember for, and the art is awesome, like I said. And this is a stash for me. And I don't even like Thor's stuff.
He's like a hungover badass in this.
Yeah, exactly. It's just awesome. I'll be picking up issue number 2.
I only read a couple panels of it, and from what I read, I got to pick it up. My LCS was out. I went there today. They didn't have any at all. So maybe eBay or somewhere, or maybe getting a second print. But from what I saw, it looked badass. I'm not a huge fan of Thor. I have some Thor books, but this looks really good, and I'm hoping to be able to pick it up. Let's see. You have any more books, Trinity, or what was your pick of the week for you?
My pick of the week was Batman. I'm out of books. I have more coming, but I had to order them online. So I actually had that Thor coming. So
my last book of the night, it's independent by Abstract Studio, and that is Motor Girl #1, Terry Moore. I have not read any other Terry Moore books. I know he did Rachel Rising, which I think is pretty popular. This actually is my pick of the week. I absolutely love this book. It's not the art. I thought the art was good. It fit the story. And it's black and white. It's not color. So it's a really good book. I love the dynamics between her and what's the gorilla's name?
Grodd.
I think it's just Gorilla.
Is it just Gorilla? But their relationship fit. I don't know if they're boyfriend girlfriend. I don't know what they are, or if they're just really good friends. But their dynamic fit well. It kind of fit within my own personality and I was quite the gearhead when I was younger. Always working on cars, and it kind of fit in that storyline too. It's kind of cute, and it does have some good stuff. But it could turn dark because it talks about her doing 3 tours. I don't know if it was Middle East or if it's a different war altogether. And there's a guy that's offering more and more money for this property that the junkyard's on. So it could have a dark turn to it. This is a fairly light story in this one, but this is definitely my pick of the week. Mike, you were showing it. What do you think of it?
This is also my pick of the week, believe it or not, indie book. Just to let you guys know, this book is in black and white for those of you who are not fans of that. Amazing book. The first couple pages where she was talking about people driving on their cell phone, that's a big pet peeve of mine. And right then and there, I knew I was going to fall in love with these characters. It's about a girl, a gorilla, in a junkyard. There's a UFO thrown in there. It's just a really well-written book, and I'm going to stash this one as my pick of the week.
I've seen it had a fairly low print run. I don't know what it is. I mean, Abstract Studio is, it's definitely not a big publisher. So I don't know if you definitely pick it up in your store, pick it up. I think it's already going for $10, $15 on eBay. So, and that could be just the people trying to do the money hungry thing already. So,
yeah.
But anybody else have any other Terry Moore books you like that either Terry Moore at all? I'm taking it as a no, just nobody say anything.
Yeah, no.
Or in the chat, if you've read other Terry Moore books, let us know what you think of that too. So I think that ends. Unless Paul, do you have anything else?
Nope, that was it for me this week.
And how about you, Mike?
I have one more actually I want to talk about.
Okay.
Actually, I read 2. I read Election Night. I'm not going to go into details, but this was a blast for me. And I read Hellchild, The Unholy, and this was pretty decent. Hellchild is a half god, half vampire, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's, you know, very violent. Spines and eyeballs are flying everywhere. So this was a stash for me right here, and that's it. That's all I read.
Didn't you read Election Night too, Paul? Were you saying that?
Yeah, I tried to scrub it from my memory. That's why I forgot all about it. I've had enough with politics in real life. I don't need it in my comics too.
The only last one that I have that I read that I'm super excited to read, and that's The Walking Dead. This is part 4 of the Whisperer War. This issue itself was more of a little more backstory of what's going on. The Whisperer and the Horde are moving to Hilltop, and it's kind of going into that. I mean, I don't want to give too much away if you haven't read it. It's definitely not one of the best of the Whisperer War books of this story arc, but nonetheless, it's Walking Dead, and it's still pretty good. Okay, if that's all the books we got, we will go ahead and jump into a little segment that British Geeky Guy likes called Shut Your Funko Mouth with Grandpa.
Shut your Funko mouth. I just want to shout out real quick British Geeky Guy and Airborne Sapper. They just in a haul of pops themselves, so thumbs up to you guys. I know Airborne Sapper was on his last pop haul video was asking about a flock Scooby-Doo. Well, it is available, but you got to go to Gemini Collectibles to get that, and they are currently out. I tried myself, so good luck if you get a hold of one, but they are out there. I don't know if they'll be available in other stores, but we do have a flock Scooby-Doo. Hot Topic is going to have a 3-pack of the Lilo and Stitch characters, I guess. Stitch, Scrump, and Angel. I myself are not a fan of the 3-packs or the 2-packs, so I'm going to be skipping that one. Hot Topic is also going to have an exclusive Jack Skellington coming out, and he's pretty cool looking. He's got a big top hat with feathers coming out. Let's see. In November, Specialty Series, they're going to have an Emma Frost Funko Pop, which I'm going to be going after, and a Cosmo the dog from Guardians of the Galaxy. It's basically this Funko, just Dorb form. What else we got? Speaking of Dorbs, I hate them. I mean, I don't hate them, but I don't collect them as much as the Pops. I call them butt plugs. But this would have worked for last night's show. They are coming out with Masters of the Universe Dorbs in January. They're going to have He-Man, Skeletor, Master at Arms, Merman, Walmart exclusive. They're going to have Faker. Chase ones. They're going to have Prince Adam as a Chase. And they're going to have Black Hooded Skeletor as the Chase. So I'll probably be getting those Dorbs just because it's He-Man.
Real quick, before you move on, Mike, we got to have Jeremy do his Skeletor before you move on to the next segment.
Oh, no, Huey.
Okay, go ahead, Mike.
Let's see. And the biggest news I'm sure everyone knows about it is the Stranger Things Funkos. They announced the full line. I'm excited for it. I'm going to be grabbing all of these I can. They have 11 with her Egos. The Chase variant on that is going to be 11 with her Egos, but she's going to have her blonde wig on. Hot Topic exclusive 11. She's going to be in the underwater tank, so that's going to be pretty cool. They're making Barb, and it looks like she's holding a Trapper Keeper. Some of us older guys know what a Trapper Keeper is. Of course, the kids, Mike with his walkie-talkie, Dustin with his red, white, and blue hat. Lucas, he's going to be holding binoculars, and he's got a camo bandana on. Pretty cool. Will, and then there's an upside down Will. And then the two, how you say, Demogorgons.
Demogorgon, yeah.
Demogorgons, they're awesome looking pops. The Chase one is going to have his mouth closed. The regular one's going to have his mouth open. So really excited for them Stranger Things pops and the Masters of the Universe. What's that?
I was going to say, kind of like the Aliens Funko Pops. They had the Chase with the head opened up, the little bitty alien in the middle of it.
Oh, from Independence Day? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I myself has a haul video I'm going to do right here live. I picked up about 9 pops at Hot Topic. First off, I got this Harley Quinn and Popster. Now this, let me show you guys. Some of you don't know, some of you do. They have a Batgirl. I don't know if you can see it. One of them has long hair, the orange hair sticking out, and one of them doesn't. One's Batman, one's Batgirl. So they look the same.
Ah.
But there's 2 of them. They even show 2 of them on the back. So any confusion, look for the hair. I also picked up, oh yeah, all right, I want to mention something British Geeky Guy just brought up. Scarlet Spider. I know many of you are fans of the Scarlet Spider. That's going to be a Walgreens exclusive coming. I want to thank British Geeky Guy for informing me of that. Can't wait to get my hands on that one. I finally got my hands on a Space Ghost. And that's the ones in the collection. I got my Cammy from the Street Fighter line. And I'm waiting for a sound effect for this next one. And Ryu.
Oh, you cunt!
my night's complete now. It is.
So now all I need is Dan, Balrog, and that's it. The bearded Ken with his shirt off. Can't wait to get that one. Grandpa likes his hot Kens. What else? From the Gears of War line, the only reason I bought an Xbox One, Marcus Phoenix. And the Locust drone. He's badass looking. And my 2 favorite ones that I got today are from the Harry Potter line, and that's the Hot Topic exclusive, Bellatrix Lestrange, and she's in her Azkaban gear. You can even see it on there.
I swear for God, when you first brought that up, I didn't even think about Harry Potter. I thought that was Michael Jackson.
It kind of does look like Michael Jackson. And the last one, and probably my favorite, I am absolutely in love with this pop. This is Lucius Malfoy in his Death Eater mask.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that one's cool looking.
This was on the very top shelf. I made them bitches break out that ladder. Hey, you need to get me that Funko of that. So,
that's something I hate about the Hot Topic.
Yeah. It sort of looks like the Man in the Iron Mask with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. And this is the new line right here. They had Harry and Ron in their Christmas sweaters, but I passed on those. And,
yeah, when I picked up my Ludo Pop, it was about 50 feet up in the air, and I was like, I need that one, and they said, oh, we got a couple in the back.
And that is it for Shut Your Funko Mouth. I am Funkoed out.
Real quick before we jump out of this, I saw a video. I think you had posted it. The new Catwoman and the DC exclusive DC Legend box. Is that what it's called?
Spoilers.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, that is in the box.
That looks pretty dang cool. I saw that and I'm like, I don't get those boxes ever, but man, sometimes I think about doing it just because getting those exclusive Funkos like that.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's a dark and lonely road down this Funko train.
I think you'd just be better off buying the pops that you want because you're going to get a crap ton of stuff that you do not care about, like hats, mugs.
Funk Off asked me if I found my Colossus yet. No, I have not. They did not have it. Them sons of bitches. They did have the She-Hulk, but I already have the normal She-Hulk. I don't need her to glow. He has a metallic Colossus. Send it my way. I will be greatly appreciative. Asked the guy if he had any in the back. He said no. I said, you ain't lying to Grandpa. He said no. I said, all right, I'll come back in this bitch.
Pull out the guilt trip. Not lying to Grandpa now, are you?
Look, I pulled out the whole grandson thing. You know, it's for my grandson, and it didn't work.
You're a liar for sure. You're going to hell.
'Cause you're a liar.
I'll see all three of you there.
I'll just keep buying my exclusive box ones from Jeremy there.
There you go.
So one other thing too, I don't know if anybody knows on the Facebook page, Undisputed Frost picked up 3 of the Thunderbolts Punisher. He said he got them 50% off. I didn't know Walgreens had clearance tables like that with Funkos on them. Have you ever come across that, Mike?
Yeah. Yeah, I was in Walgreens today looking for my Spider-Man 2099, my Venom, and the Punisher. And they had a buy one, get one free table. And all I had were the frozen fucking pops and the Charlie Brown pops that I already have. So
they need to take Elsa's advice with the frozen pops and just let it go. They need to die.
You have any of those frozen pops, Mike?
I actually do not. I kind of feel sorry every time I go into a Walgreens and see them sitting there with 3 inches of dust on them. I want to buy them, but
I've got a 5-year-old daughter, so I'll let you figure out whether I got some of the frozen pops.
Okay, so we'll jump out of the Shut Joe Funko Mouth and we'll jump into a new segment, which we are calling, let me get my notes out here, Superhero Cinema with our own Trinity. Did you want to jump into that trailer first, or do you want to talk a little bit?
I'll go ahead and give some updates because first up, today we got some big announcement that Game of Thrones star, I think it's pronounced Kieran Hines, was just today cast as Steppenwolf in the Justice League movie. So I think it'll be good. I don't really know much about Steppenwolf, but the way they showed him, the way they showed him in that in the Batman vs Superman, he was like that Kryptonian etch-a-sketch stuff like came up. People thought that was going to be him, but that was just like the ship teaching Lex Luthor about him that he was coming. So this guy was cast as him. I can't think of the guy he plays in Game of Thrones, but I can't think of his name. But he's pretty hardcore, and that just got announced today. Next up, Tim Miller dropped out of Deadpool 2 reportedly because of creative differences with Ryan Reynolds over the direction of the film and possibly the casting of Cable. Now, apparently Miller wanted Kyle Chandler from Friday Night Lights, and Reynolds wanted to go another direction. And also Miller wanted to make a more polished movie and with more action and better effects. And it's worth noting that Miller leaving, he also takes his effects company that did the effects in the first one. And they say that he did a lot of the effects work on Deadpool for free because it was his first big movie and he wanted it to be done right. So I don't know, like if he's going to be in trouble. I guess he kind of clashed with Ryan Reynolds on the casting of that. So, and then also, staying on that train, the Flash director leaves the movie due to creative differences, which I'm assuming is he had a different vision than Jeff Johns for the film. Personally, I trust Jeff Johns' vision for the movie because no one really knows comics and the characters better than him. And that being said, I want to know in the chat which directors that y'all think would be good to pick it up. And me personally, I'm gonna give my top 3. When I was kind of thinking about this today, It's just the first one that popped up to me was Jon Favreau, just because he did such a good job with Iron Man and it kept a lot of that humor and lightheartedness, but it had a lot of good action in it, and he hadn't done a movie in a while. And next, I know that these are all three Marvel directors, but I didn't go into it thinking about Marvel directors. I like Peyton Reed because I like the humor, like he brought to Ant-Man, and I don't think I'd ever seen a movie Peyton Reed had done before. So that was actually pretty good. And this last one, I'm going to throw this name out there just to throw it out there, but James Gunn, I think he'd be better suited for the Green Lantern Corps movie, but I also think he could rock some Flash. My honorable mention is the Kevin Smith. I know he just did a couple episodes on the Flash last season. This season he's doing a couple episodes on Supergirl. So I don't know, if he could, his directing, some people don't like it. I kind of like it, but I think he could do it because he loves the comic. He loves the Flash. So I think he could do that. And my comic says Quentin Tarantino, you're in timeout. By the way, if saying Quentin Tarantino to the Flash, that would be horrible.
I read somewhere they talk about Tarantino maybe doing Deadpool 2, and I don't think that fits either. He does not. His film does not fit that kind of movie.
Quentin Tarantino actually just came out, and he just came out and insisted that he came out here a while back and said that he was going to retire after doing 2 movies. And then some people were saying, "Well, I don't think he'll stick to that. I think he'll keep coming back." And he just actually came out today or this week, I think it was, and said that he's going to stick to that. Next 2, he's going to do 2 more movies and he's retiring.
Yep, that's what I was just going to bring up. And he's already got those 2 movies planned out, what they're going to be. Yeah. So.
And plus, you think about it like this: he actually came out in an interview and said that about Luke Cage. Like they actually, what he thought about Luke Cage. And he said he wished they would have did it in the more of the 70s blaxploitation kind of stuff, So that kind of tells you right there how he would go with Deadpool and the Flash. So I think we just better leave Quentin Tarantino to like Pulp Fiction and stuff that he writes. So,
yeah, I think, and he said he's only going to direct 2 more. I think he's still going to write stuff.
Oh yeah. He will. I mean, some people I watched a video by Collider when they was talking about that, and the guy that they had on there, he was talking. He said that he figures. He said something about Quentin Tarantino's got the Michael Jordan complex, where he thinks he's the greatest artist to ever walk into a room, And he said that he thinks Quentin Tarantino would go into retirement, then he would miss it so much he would start doing TV for a little while. And then, eventually he would come back to movies. But I don't know, man. Quentin Tarantino, he don't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? He's got money.
Yep. One of my favorite Tarantino movies is one he only wrote. He didn't direct, and that was True Romance. I thought that movie was brilliant.
I actually liked another movie that he wrote. I like True Romance, but I like 4 Rooms.
Yes.
I don't think he directed that, did he?
I don't think so, but I'm not.
And that might have been each segment directed by somebody different too.
Yeah, I think he may have done 1 segment on it.
Might have been.
Real quick before we jump anymore, let's jump to the chat real quick. Rob Wise guy jumped in here and said, "Hey everybody." Some people saying Tarantino for that. Unslapped88 asked me if I never said who I prefer, Jay Scott or Adam Hughes. And just to make sure you hear me this time, it's got to be Adam Hughes all the way. And you missed that last night, Paul. Adam Hughes or Jay Scott? Who's your favorite? You had to pick one of the
Adam
2.
Hughes, no doubt. Adam Hughes.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you there, Trinity. You got any more stuff?
Yeah, I got actually a lot more. It's a pretty big segment for my first one, but the next topic I got up is Wonder Woman. A new trailer just dropped, and it looks phenomenal. It brings in all the things that everyone said was lacking in Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman, which is color and humor. And to me, I know we've got the trailer queued up for everybody to watch it. And to me, see if y'all get this, it kind of has shades of Richard Donner's Superman films, which to me is still the best Superman we've ever had in a movie. And it also gives us some shots of what I believe is going to be the first, like kind of like a minor villain or whatever. That's Dr. Poison, and her origins are in World War II, but the film is set in World War One, and I think they did that was just because they didn't want comparisons to the first Captain America movie. So let's go ahead and cue that up.
Okay. And this time, let me know if it's that multiple window thing, because I don't want to do that again.
All right.
Far.
Looks okay so far.
Okay. Now I have to unplug my mic and headset real quick. Still looking good?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Stop playing.
This beautiful place. But the closer you get, the more you see the great darkness within. It's the hard way. What is your mission?
To stop the war.
What war?
The war to end all wars. Weapons far deadlier than you can ever imagine. The walking palace. You are in more danger than you think.
You cannot stand by while innocent lives are lost. Careful, Diana.
She's my secretary, sir. She's a very good secretary.
It is our sacred duty to defend the world. It is what I'm going to do. How can the war possibly fight? These are principles, although I am not opposed to engaging in a bit of fisticuffs should the occasion arise.
Was that the trailer you were talking about?
Yeah.
I thought I saw a couple different ones.
What I said that I kind of saw shades of Richard Donner's Superman movies. If you go back and watch it, when they're in that alley, and she blocks that shot, and they try to shoot Steve Trevor, reminded me of that scene in Superman where they're getting mugged in the alley, and the guy's falling, and he shoots, and Superman catches the bullet.
What my hope is I hope DC pulls this out, because they've been really failing lately, and the movies haven't been that great. I mean, they've been doing okay financially, but storyline and everything else, it's been pretty crappy. And I'm afraid if they don't pull this one out, it could be an uphill battle for them to try to do anything else. Anybody else's opinion on it?
I'm excited to see it. I mean, I was kind of against the casting of Gal Gadot at the beginning, because I think there are better people out there, but she did do well in Batman v Superman, and the trailer looks like this is the one where the most so far I've said DC looks like they got it.
Yeah. Another thing to note about that is a lot of people are speculating that German soldier guy, that he might toward the end of the movie turn out to be Ares, another one of those big villains. Because there's a couple little snippet shots. If you go through and you pause it when she's using the lasso of truth, like she's in that fight. You can see there's one. Somebody was I saw speculating that she might actually, because people were wondering if she can fly or if she can only jump. But there's one scene where it looks like she's actually flying and she's using the lasso of truth, and it looks like it's around that guy's neck. She's slamming him down, so that people were thinking that maybe later on in the movie he turns into Ares or something. That's like just a snippet of the big fight at the end. But
how about you, Mike? What do you think of the trailer?
In Batman versus Superman, that was the highlight of the movie for me, seeing Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, whatever her name is. So a whole movie featuring just her, I'm down. Thumbs up. I'm excited to see it.
And you notice how it had like a lot of color, like when they were showing the plane crashing at Themyscira there, like it was really bright and the beautiful water and everything. So it's kind of like everything, kind of like in contrast to everything that they did before that.
Yeah.
I think it definitely looks good. I think she's fitting that role of Wonder Woman very well too. And I get like what Paul said. She was probably the highlight of the Batman v Superman movie, and I'm hoping that this is really going to be. I have high expectations for it going in, but I'm really hoping it's going to pull it off and be an excellent movie. Anything more, Trinity?
Yeah, I got two more things to talk about here. I got the next one is I threw this one in there because I've seen a lot of people like bring it up, and they only talk about the animated version of it. The Justice League Dark live action movie is a go with the director already on board, Doug Liman. He's known most recently for Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt. He did The Bourne Identity and that movie Jumper with the guy that played Anakin Skywalker. He did that one. And Guillermo del Toro is producing the movie. And it'll feature John Constantine, Swamp Thing, Zatanna, Etrigan the Demon, and Boston Brand the Dead Man. And they say a working title commonly thrown around for it is Dark Universe.
Why isn't Guillermo? I can't. What's his?
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, del Toro. Thank you. Why isn't he directing? I mean, he's done some pretty awesome stuff when it comes to kind of horror.
Yeah, he came up with the script, and I think, and the working basis for it. But I think he's busy with other things, so he had to kind of drop off directing it. So they're bringing other people in to kind of direct it. But him and his production company is going to make the movie. But it's just like he can't direct. I guess he can't have all his time voted to that one. So I don't really know. And then the last one is this one actually has got me pretty excited. Aquaman with James Wan at the helm is chugging right along with reports recently stating that the film will be an adventure on the high seas in the vein of such films as Raiders of the Lost Ark and Romancing the Stone, which, if that's true, man, take my money right now because I love both of those movies.
I think I still got to feel how he's going to portray Aquaman. He doesn't look like Aquaman to me. I mean, and so that's going to be a big hurdle for me to try to get over. Is Jason Momoa?
Jason Momoa.
Momoa, okay. Momoa?
Go on. Yeah, Momoa. M-O-A. Go on his Instagram, which is Pride of Gypsies, I think's the name of it. And you can see what he kind of looks like now. Like his hair, you're picturing him with the black hair, right?
Yeah.
But his hair is more like a sun bleached blonde, kind of like it's still dark, but it's like it's sun bleached. And like they showed him at like he puts stuff on there all the time. Like he's the one that put the picture on Instagram of Mara. They when they wrapped Justice League and they went and they went to Iceland to finish filming. And there's he's actually the one that put the picture of Mara on Instagram. But what I think is going to be cool with it, because James Wan is a horror master, and or in my opinion, he's the best horror director we got out there today. And there's only 10% of the Earth, or only 10% of the oceans that we've explored. So there's a crap ton of ocean we don't know what's down there. So imagine how James Wan's going to play with that. Like what lurks beneath where men can go. And like. And I know, like in the Aquaman comics, in the Rebirth, he talks about like the Earth riddles the like humans, we discard our trash in their yard, and like it shows him and Wonder Woman, like in one of the comics, I think it does, like shows them like pulling a big like tanker, like an oil tanker that's sunk, and like he's pulling it up on the shore because it's like it just fell down by Atlantis or whatever.
Unsubbed 88 said Momoa's Conan sucked, by the way. I'd have to agree with him, too. I tried watching that Conan one. Have anybody seen that Conan with Momoa?
Yeah.
I actually dug it. I mean, it's not Arnold Schwarzenegger
fan. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. And they're making another one with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I heard that, too. It's he's gonna have a walker, I think, in it. So
the photo that I saw, they did a photo of him sitting on the throne with his sword, and he's got like this long, like gray beard, and like got gray hair, and he's wearing the crown. And the title of the movie is King Conan. So it's actually.
So before we jump out of this segment, so Doctor Strange is out. Anybody seen it yet, or they plan on seeing it this weekend?
I'm gonna try actually this weekend.
I'm gonna try to go see it tomorrow. Yeah.
How about you, Mike?
I'm waiting as long as possible. Wait for the theaters to clear out. Probably be a couple of weeks. I'm not a big Doctor Strange fan, although I am wearing the Funko Pop T-shirt. So I'm gonna wait a couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, I might go see it. Try to see it on the first matinee showing tomorrow. Usually here where I live, the matinees. And I mean, I went and saw Civil War II, and there was only maybe 20 people in the theater on the matinee. So I'm assuming Doctor Strange is probably going to be fairly similar. So I might do that tomorrow.
We don't live in a thriving metropolis like Grandpa.
No. As I said before, our whole county has 250,000 people in it. That's maybe 300,000, maybe a little bit bigger. But okay, no more news for you from the Trinity superhero cinema?
No, but I would like to add one little thing. They're talking about how Momoa was awesome in Game of Thrones until he got poisoned, which I agree. He was great. He was my favorite character in Game of Thrones. When they killed him off, I almost stopped watching the show. But there's been a lot of reports recently that he's going to be back on Game of Thrones as Khal Drogo. I'm assuming it'll be in flashbacks or something, because where they're filming over there, he just showed up on Emilia Clarke's Instagram and like taking pictures with her and all this kind of stuff. And they're speculating that he could show up.
And they do have the Red Witch, and so you never know when she can come back. He may be able to come back.
Yeah, so, I haven't seen any on-set leaked photos of him, but I know he's there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and close the curtains on the first ever Trinity superhero cinema. And we're going to talk about a few books that are coming out next week, maybe to keep your eye out for. I got one. It's Betty and Veronica #2, and the only reason I'm grabbing that is because it's an Adam Hughes cover. I'm hoping to. I got one. Because I've been trying to get all the Adam Hughes cover. Another one's Batman and TMNT Adventures. Anybody looking for that? Look forward to that one.
I am. The regular Batman TMNT did so well. I think this one's going to do well as well.
I bet Comic Noob's looking for it.
That's Crazy Noob.
Yeah, Crazy Noob now.
So we have Violent Love coming out by Image. Cannibal #2. If anybody's read Cannibal #1, I like the first one. I'm probably looking forward to picking up that one. Invincible Iron Man #1, which is Riri Williams as Ironheart. Mother Panic #1. And then Chimichanga Sorrow, the World's Worst Face #2 is out by Eric Powell. I didn't really care for the first one. I love Eric Powell's stuff, but I didn't care for the first one. So, anybody else have any books they're looking out for next week?
Lost Boys #2.
Paul, how about you?
I'm not a fan
Or
of
Mike?
Black Panther at all, but just to let everyone know, I'm sure you guys already do that. Black Panther: World of Wakanda is coming out next week. All-Star Batman #4. What else? Gwenpool #8. A lot of fans of Gwenpool. Glitter Bomb #3 will be out as well. Love Glitter Bomb. And Amazing Spider-Man: Renew Your Vows #1. All us Spider-Man fans. Red Hood #4. It's been a great book.
How about you, Paul? Any books you're looking out for next week?
Well, now that you guys have covered them all, pretty much no.
Well, you can still say, hey, I'm really looking forward to that book. I mean, if they're...
Well,
Other-
I'm definitely looking forward to All-Star Batman aside from the art.
Did anybody read Alters #1? I know Wonky
I did.
Ninja might have read it. You did?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
and
Alters 2 is coming out, right?
Yeah, Alters 2 is coming out.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was really good, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's all we got. Anybody have any shout-outs or anything else they want to say?
Is this the book yet? I'm not.
I want to give away this
That's
Walking
what-
Dead code.
Oh, shoot. I totally forgot all about that. So,
I know
Mike,
you-
why don't you go ahead and do that?
I know they've been waiting forever for this.
Just private message me, Mike. It's okay.
This is The Walking Dead, the complete 6th season right here. All you gotta do in the chat there is there's this guy Robert Kirkman. Like, he has something to do with the book. I don't know what it is, but tell me what state he was born in.
Ooh, man, I'd have to look that up too.
There's going to be some Google foo going on now.
I know.
Yeah.
First one to let me know where Robert Kirkman was born.
Can I enter this?
No.
No. Funkoff has Kentucky.
Funkoff said, oh, yep, he got it, Kentucky. Funkoff, you are the winner. Any preferred way you want me to message you? Do you use Hangouts or are you on Facebook or?
Which reminds me, talking about Facebook. If you haven't already, make sure you go check out our Facebook page. It's our sister page or whatever to our YouTube channel, and a great way to interact with each other outside of this YouTube show. And we get into people post stuff all the time. You know, they give us heads up on books that are coming out or Funko Pops, and it's a great place to hang out and meet new people and get some cool info. So make sure you go check us out there. That link is down below in the description. Couple other things that I wanted to announce is I think it's Great Legends auction. Am I correct?
I hope so.
I
Or is it
think
that
so.
next weekend?
I know Big Bear and everybody's been posting videos. Great Legends
Yeah.
in the chat.
Hopefully we'll post something here pretty quick. Before we find out for sure from him, this may be dumb, this may be whatever, but next Tuesday we're voting for a new president. Vote for whoever you want. Just get out and vote. That's all I got to say. Just do your civic duty. Go vote. You know, cheesy PSA from Hueys Comics.
If you don't vote, you have no right to bitch about who's in there.
Yep.
Election day is going to be huge. It's going to be huge, okay? Huge.
Waiting for
The Great Legend. Page
tomorrow
of the
night.
Great Legends.
There he says right there. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. Dude, if you haven't checked out that show, definitely go check that out. Some great guys selling some great books, and you get some stuff at some good prices too. And we're all honest and straight up guys, and definitely go check that out. The link to his channel is down in the description as well. So, anything else before we sign out, guys?
I got a few shout outs. First, I was actually going to shout out Funk Off. He's got an amazing channel. Funko Pops and all that. I wanted to shout out Count Von Strange, the fourth. He's got some great stuff going on. He's got about 77 subs. He's a Cubs fan. So go sub him up. And just, I noticed that we're having problems. A couple of, like, OMG and a few others are having problems with trolls again. Don't let that shit fucking get you down. Don't stop making videos because of that shit. Fucking just let it go. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to keep watching. Just because they hit the like button doesn't mean you're fucking doing bad. I love all your channels, so don't let them trolls get you. That's all I got to say.
Paul, you got anything else?
Just a couple of shout outs for some people I've recently subbed to. They're all under 100 viewers. One is Redbeard. Another one is Grimland and Cubanos Comics. Let's try to get these people up above 100. Seems to be our threshold. We try to get everybody over. So, and sub each other. I've added a couple people that were in chat today.
How about you, Trinity?
I'm going to give a shout out to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe for being bumbling idiots. No, just to give a shout out to everybody on the Facebook page. I love that group. There's a lot of knowledgeable people in there about comics, pops. You know, Mike is like Yoda when it comes to pops. So he always got some knowledge to drop on us. So I just give a shout out to everybody in the chat and everybody on the Facebook page. If you're not in the Facebook page, go like the page. And if you're not, sub everybody up in the chat. Subs for everybody.
I'm trying to get to my sub page, and my app never shows me what I want to see. Yeah, definitely. As Trinity said, make sure if you see somebody in chat that you're not subbed to, go check them out. Let's get everybody just subbed up together. And I think with that, from all of us here on the panel, whether you blast it or whether you stash it, happy reading, guys. Good night.
Later, guys.